Good morning, gorgeous, gorgeous people, and happy Wednesday to you. This is Wallis Patterson, the founder of Bold Not Old, and your host on Wednesdays with Wallis. And I do hope that you'll enjoy today's episode because it's full of fabulous information and there's a little bit different format to it. But without any ado, I want to get into it. We'll talk about the fashion thing down the line a little bit later on in the video. But first of all, I want to get stuck in, so to speak, into the topic for today, which is Side Hustle Made Easy. And I'm saying made easy because there's a whole bunch of things we can do as we get older. And this is probably for people, look, younger people, they'll want this too. But I'm specifically saying to you 55 plus people that you're going to probably need. You'll decide that for yourself. It's not for me to say, but just looking at the statistics, I'm saying that you're probably going to need to look at creating some additional income for yourself so that as you get older and age, and those of us who are a bit older, certainly are looking at our dollars and cents and going, well, you know what? I'm going to have to get some more dollars into the coffers because what I've got now, and certainly we don't have to go through all that, do we? World recession, all the doom and gloom and all the reasons why, and everybody's got an opinion on that. But the bottom line is we're in it, and we have a situation right now where, and that's going to continue. This will be the good old days, folks. So we're looking at, not having probably enough money to last us. We're going to have to need to have some other passive income, and there's a lot of ways to create passive income. But let's start at the beginning. You can do it through real estate. You can do it through share markets. You can do it with foreign exchange trading, and you can do it with other things like more manual things like, starting up an Airbnb for yourself, which a lot of people 60 plus have done or are doing. And those sorts of things are really fantastic. None of those I'm discounting. I'm simply saying to you that with the growing internet, and it is growing, I don't know how I keep up, but I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe that it's still growing because as we get older, it's a little bit of a head bang to get our head around all this sort of thing. But it is growing still, and there's a massive amount of people that have entered the marketplace via the internet, and I'm suggesting that you do that as well. So what I'm presenting to you is creating a side hustle for yourself that's online. Now, how do you do that? Well, you create a business for yourself online where you basically sell your expertise. There's people out there who need your expertise, and this doesn't have to be. I had a conversation yesterday with someone who said, well, I've looked at doing something, but I can't find anything unique and different. Well, there isn't. Sorry, I'm going to give you all the bad news up front. There isn't anything unique and different. There is you, and you're unique and you're different. And the perspective you bring to things is the difference. Now, it took me a long time to get my head around that. And in a few minutes, I'm going to get to a little bit of helping you get started. And the way to get started on this is to figure out first, what is it that you would like or that you think is uniquely you and something that you've always wanted to do or something you absolutely love and you'd like to, have a go at that. Incidentally, press on the subscribe button below and subscribe to our Wednesdays with Wallis. It helps us grow our numbers and it helps put us on the map and get us out there to more people, which is what I'm about. I'm all about wanting to help you make money, wanting to help you live a fabulous life. If you want that for yourself. If you don't want that, then all the talk in the world and all the things I give you won't mean a tosser. They'll just go straight over your head, and that's okay too, because you know what you want, you know where you're at. And I'm going to give a little self-promotion, a little plug in a little while about some upcoming coaching and some things that I'm going to be doing a little way down the line. But I want you to learn a little bit more about this before we get into, or before I get into offering what it is that I would like to help you with. Okay, so the first thing is, let's talk about how do you get started. So find out what your thing is. So it took me a while to figure out what my thing is. What did I do? I started on a simple exercise. I started looking at what is it that people say about me? You know, what do people say about me? If they pay me a compliment, what is it? What's the compliment they pay me? What do they say to me? Do they say to me, and this is where I picked up on it, people were saying to me, oh, Wallis, you know, you're so inspiring. You're always doing something. I love it that there's always something you'll come up with. You're so creative. You're coming up with things all the time. It's wonderful. You know, you're such an inspiration to me. And I get that most of the time. And I also get, you know, love the way you dress and, you know, the whole fashion thing. And that is fabulous as well. But if I'm really listening to what people are saying, then they say things to me, and I'm just going to get my little guide out here, because there's going to be a free guide. See this free guide? You're going to be able to download this to recap on what I'm saying at the end of this video. So stay with us to the end, and you'll be able to download this and fill it in, and it will help you. So it's Side Hustle Made Easy, a guide to finding your thing and sharing your expertise with the world. And I know the first thing you're going to say, oh, Wallis, I don't have any expertise. Who'd want to listen to me? Yada, 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 yada. I get it, because I went through it all myself. But the fact is that there are people out there, even if it's only a small following, you'll still have a fabulous business. So don't look to convince the world. Don't look to change the world. I don't want you to sit down, and I certainly don't want you doing these exercises and trying to work out it all, the whole thing, all up front, work it out all out at once, because it's, you know, it's taking it in bite-sized pieces. So the first thing I want to ask you to do, if you had a business for yourself, if you started something for yourself, might be a passion that you have, might be something you always thought that you wanted to do. If you were to do that, how would you help people achieve results? So that's the first question. If you were to start something for yourself, or you already have a business and you're not sure about where you're going and what you're doing, how would you help people achieve results? What would you be doing for them to get results? So I want you to write that down. Then I want you to look at, when you think about yourself, what is it that comes naturally? Are you a natural speaker? Are you naturally a problem solver? You create solutions for people? Are those the things that come naturally to you? Look, I heard about a young woman recently. I heard recently about a young woman who started a business, and she earns about $500,000 a year. And what does she do? She teaches women how to have great eyebrows. I mean, you can believe that? I'm thinking, really? And, you know, here we are, all of us, mulling over what it is that is our expertise. Well, that young woman's expertise and real, you know, that fired her up. And that's another thing too. Whatever you do, and look, you may have an education right now, and your education is, you're thinking, oh, I spent all this money on this education. What am I going to do with that? Because it's not really what you want to do. You want to do something else. Well, do the something else, because whatever it is that you do, you've got to be passionate about it, because you're going to be doing it continually, and you need to be excited about that, or it'll fizzle out and it won't last. And yours truly has been there. I have done many, many things in my life I wasn't passionate about. I did it for the money, and it fizzled out because I couldn't keep the energies going in it. I couldn't keep it alive. another little fine-tuning thing is when people pay you that compliment, when people say to you, oh, you're always, you're always motivating, you're always doing something. What did you do to solicit that? What was it that you were doing that solicited that comment? What sorts of things were you doing? If I look at that example from my perspective and people say to me, oh, you're always busy, you're always doing things, you're so creative, la, 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 la. What am I doing? I'm dressing up, I'm showing up, I'm creating new and different ideas all the time. I'm coming up with all sorts of things. I'm experimenting, I'm studying, I'm really inputting to that thing, right? So it's not difficult. I want to give you too much today. I just want to give you those things. So will you look at those for me and will you do that? As I said, let me just show you the front cover of this so you'll know it when you see it. Not that that's going to be difficult, but it's called Side Hustle Made Easy. And it'll be at the end, there'll be a link on this video down below for you to download that. The other thing I want you to do before you go, please leave some comments. Will you do that? Will you leave comments at the bottom? So, 1, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Bring someone along to subscribe. And at the bottom of this, please leave your comments. I really want your comments. I want you to give me feedback. And don't worry about what that is. I've got broad shoulders. I'm a big girl. I can take whatever it is you give me, but give me some feedback, will you? Now, next week, we're going to be doing some more on this Side Hustle Made Easy, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. So the first step is find your thing. Find what it is that you're going to be taking to the world and you're going to be bringing online and you're going to be helping other people to change their lives with. If you don't think you can do it, I'm going to convince you over this next few weeks that absolutely, unequivocally, you can do it. And I'm going to be there to watch you do it because I'm very excited about this for you. Have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the heck out of it. Look at me. I've got all these fabulous things on today. Could I take 1 minute to tell you what they are? Okay, this top that I have on, this little top, stand up, Wallis. This little top that I have on, which is just a little layered top, is TS, which is taking shape 14 plus. These little things I've had for years, these little bracelets and all this little bit of bling. And this jacket I have on today is a grey. It's a lovely thing. It's got all this shades and stuff in it. And it's a Ray-Bans Salina, which is a designer piece. And underneath this, I've got this fantastic top on. But see, look, it's got silver foil on it. Isn't it fabulous? And that's with a pair of pants I've got on as well, and that's banana blue. And the shoes I've got on, I always think in my dressing room it's a wash of blue boxes, and that's because I mostly buy Chinori shoes or Sinori or whatever you want to call them. I call it Chinori. It's Cinori, Sinori shoes. I mostly buy theirs. They've got fabulous shoes. I love them. They fit really well. I know exactly what size to purchase. I don't have to even go into the shop and try them on. I know what I need or what I want. Not what I need, but what I want. And when I see it, I just buy it and I purchase my size in it, which I know. That's me for today. Oh, the earrings. Got some bling earrings on. And I don't know where I got these. I think, yes, I got them at Lovisa. So this is Lovisa. And the glasses I told you about last week, this is another pair of them. Sunnies, sunglasses from Specsavers that I had my own just plain lens put into, or bifocals, so that I could see out of them. But I like big glasses, and sunglasses are the way to go. That's it for me. Have a fabulous week. Enjoy yourself. We've run a little over time, but I hope you enjoyed what we're doing. Subscribe, Click on the link for the download of Side Hustle Made Easy, and we'll see you next week, and I'll have more info for you, and I'm going to help you through this. You're going to be very successful and earn some more money, and I want you to do that because I want you to have a fabulous life. See you soon. This is me, Wallis Patterson, signing off from Wednesdays with Wallis. Bye for now.